All right, Bernd and Timon, you guys are live on the Happy Hustle podcast. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Awesome, guys. This is going to be a fun one. I am super stoked. I mean, you guys are expert marketers, you're online business owners, speakers, you're the co-founders of TI Consulting. And I thought it'd be really fun to communicate right now, given the current circumstances, with the pandemic and everything taking place, how to transition brick and mortar businesses especially, but really any knowledge and expertise to an online business and to an online platform. So I appreciate you guys being on. Let's start things off with something interesting about yourselves. Timon, go first. That's something not too many people know.
Well, something that not too many people know is that I'm a huge Jay-Z fan, I guess. And I've been to, I think, over 20 concerts worldwide. And the furthest away was in Mumbai. I flew to India, to Mumbai in India, and went to a concert there. And I've heard one of the most popular songs, the one with the Paris. I'm not going to say the rest of it. The one with Kanye and Jay-Z. I've heard it, I think, live over 45 times, because they do have it, or I think it must have been over 50 times, because on some concerts they used to play it like 10 times or more. And yeah, I think that's a thing that not many people know, that I would say I'm a tour enthusiast. And I decided at some point to just go out there and have fun and follow, something that I might not be able to do, because he stops touring at some point, and just go to as many concerts as I could. And, had amazing journeys. I went alone to Paris and just went twice on the same concert. People think I'm crazy, but I love it. It's just
so if Jay-Z, if you're watching, this guy needs to talk to you.
Yeah, super fan. Bernd, what about you? What's something interesting that not too many people know?
Not too many people know about me, probably in the business world, is like that I started off, not in the business world, actually. I started off as an athlete. I actually played American football in Austria, which is totally weird because, as you know, Austria and Germany are the soccer countries. But I was pretty good. And then we had some import players, Americans who played for us, came from college. And one of my coaches, Coach Bradley, brought me to the US, actually. And then I transitioned to play American football on college in Vermont. And that's my career started. Got injured there, but I found my second love, more or less, which is digital marketing there on the college. And this is already like 15 years ago or something like this. But that's probably not many people know about me. And then if you Google my name, you'll find probably some old pictures of me weighing big a lot more than now. This is probably the thing.
That's amazing. And Bernd, you are a mammoth of a man. You're like 6'6", just jacked. So I've seen both of you guys, and Timon, super strong. I wanted to bring you guys on, not because you guys are just experts in your field, but also you just are happy hustlers. You share your energy even across the world. I know, Bernd, you're in Austria right now, and Timon, you're in Germany. And the beautiful thing about you guys, and what I really love, is, we've become really close through the biohacking program and become biohacking brothers. And we shared so many, experiences together. And I just really took to your guys' energy. And I know you have so much value to share. Let's start things off with a quick background of kind of how you got into digital marketing and business in general, and then kind of how you two came together as co-founders of this amazing company now.
I think Bernd should continue his story, and then I'll connect the dots where we met.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So as you know, I was on college. I got a scholarship there and played some US football there. Got injured, but fell in love with one class, digital marketing. Back then it wasn't even called digital marketing. It was called, like, I think, marketing or something like this. And then I came back to Austria and had no career path or something like this, and don't know where to go. And I found an agency who gave me a job as a programmer, actually, because like digital marketing was not a thing back then. And I started off doing like SEO. So the first client's request came in, and they asked like, can you put our website into Google, please? I said, I got to do that. I think that's pretty amazing. Then I did like SEO for a couple of years, and then I jumped in every digital marketing topic I could find. First it was SEO, then was PPC, then was Facebook ads, then it was like psychology, which is a huge part of digital marketing. I founded our own company and built big Facebook fan pages here in Europe. So I built one of the biggest like entertaining platform on Facebook with like 1 million followers very quick.
Wow.
I sold it then. And I'm always like striving to, to the latest knowledge bombs or to the latest tactics or mastermind, kind of meetups to stay on top of the game. And always like, I'm so interested in learn something new. And then I went out, founded my own company. And 2 years later, something like this, Timon and I met, and you can proceed from here, Timon.
Yeah. Yeah, let me tell my story, and then I'll connect to how we met, because I think that's very interesting. So for me, it was like I don't have a pro athlete career like Bernd has. I'm not that athletic, and that's I'm still trying to change that after so many years. But I would say I was a pretty good computer gamer back then, and we're talking about 1998. So in Germany, definitely the internet wasn't that popular. It was up and coming, and so my neighbor created a website, and I was like, hey, I can do this. I use computers every day. I can do this. So I got the program. That was some what you see is what you get program, really simple stuff. And I created a website, and then I got some data, to put in like the FTP password and stuff like that to upload it to a server. I had no clue what I was doing. I pressed that go button, and that thing was live. And if that wouldn't have happened, I wouldn't be here. But that happened, and it went live, and everybody could see the website to the world, and that changed my whole perspective. I said, like, I can do this. And shortly after that, I started this. I was like around 16. I started creating websites for clients, and I started off my first agency creating websites. And quickly from that point on, of course, as you're getting bigger clients, they ask, hey, we want traffic as well, right? So that was when I had to focus on getting traffic to those websites instead of just putting the website domain somewhere on the business card. So I got into SEO, and of course, then I started doing a master in science for programming. And the guy next to me was the guy who was actually the first affiliate guy in Germany who was programming their website. And he told me, hey, you can earn money on a different way in the internet as well. I said, well, I know how to earn money on the internet. I mean, I'm selling websites. This is 2003. And then he got me into affiliate marketing. I learned all that stuff, got even more into SEO, got hit by the first Florida update, which destroyed all SEOs at that time. And then basically I started working in that field. I became the SEO guy in many companies, and then started to be self-employed and consult many big companies like Kaspersky, like McDonald's, and I'm not sure which big brands are out there as well, but they're quite international brands, American Express and stuff like that. So
wow,
that was really interesting. And then I always had this thing which was missing. I was like, okay, I want to see how to scale faster. SEO, it's like it's a nice way, but then getting into paid was the interesting part. And then I shifted my focus onto paid, and oh my God, I saw the world explode with paid traffic. It was just like instant success if you're doing it right. And that got me back into affiliate marketing, because that's where you can instantly scale. And I quickly became a very successful affiliate marketer, and was in this whole scene as well. And when you are quite good and you win some contests and you're one of the top earners in those affiliate companies, you get invited to many trips. And on one of those trips, I got invited to Thailand on a private island where the best 200, yeah, exactly, where the best 200 people, the best 200 marketers of the world were invited. And you have to think about this. This is a private island off the coast of Thailand, and we're going there in separate speedboats. All these guys, like all these, mostly guys, of course, all these guys next to each other in speedboats, like going to this island, with being greeted with coconuts and like Hawaiian flower bracelets and stuff like that. And up there, it's like this beautiful house. You can't imagine how beautiful it was. Just one big house on this whole own island. And then by chance, I meet this huge guy, who's here on the side, and he asked me in the pool, "Can you take a photo of me?" And I'm like, "Sure, I can take a photo of you." And I hear this accent, and then we're like, "Okay, let's talk German." That's how I met Bernd. He was one of those 200 only invited guys, best marketers, and I hadn't met him before. And I've been a speaker at so many conferences, and he's been to so many conferences, but we never met before. And this was at the end of 2017, so that's where the journey for TI Consulting started, because we thought like, hey, let's change people's lives. Let's use our knowledge to lift other people out of their plateau, their stagnation, and get them out of that state and to the next level. And that's what we're doing with TI Consulting now.
That's amazing. I love that story. And it's so funny. You guys met at this like beautiful Thailand island. It's like a honeymoon type of approach where you guys hit it off, sparks flew, and then your business was born. I can see, you asking Bernd for a picture of the pool. That's funny. So very cool. And everything happens for a reason, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, there was a hell of a party. Honestly, it was super crazy. They did like everything they could. They rented this place for, I think, like it cost really a lot of money for 10 hours or so. It was, it's insane. It was absolutely insane.
Well, I can only imagine, because you're getting 200 of the best marketers in the world together, in one private island. It's got to be something special. So very cool, guys. So I love that mission that you have now with TI Consulting. Break down that mission just for the happy hustlers in a short phrase, so people can really understand what is TI Consulting.
Okay, the mission that drives us is pretty simple and easy. It's like we want to help 10,000 entrepreneurs to really build their own, we say, empire. And we want to help them build it, and it should be a thing that they couldn't have dreamed of before. So that's the clear mission: helping 10,000 entrepreneurs to build their own empires or business, which they couldn't imagine before that this would be possible for them. And that's pretty easy mission. And if you just follow your mission statement, something which comes out is like focus on results for your customers, and that's about it. That's the only thing we're gonna care for, is the results our customers got, and that's the path we're going.
Okay,
yes.
So the happy hustlers out there listening, people who, let's say, they have expert knowledge and they want help, creating an online digital business. They want help really optimizing this new age of consulting. What are some of those first initial steps that you would recommend to someone out there listening who has knowledge, that wants to package it up online, that wants to create a business that, hopefully can create scalable residual income? What are some of those initial, let's say, 3 steps that you would look for and recommend for potential clients?
First of all, I think they got to have a valuable skill. So this is the first thing. But most of the people have it and they don't recognize it because it's so normal for them. Mm-hmm. That's something we're seeing with our customers all the time. But what we would do with them, the first thing is like positioning, right? Nobody is positioned, and I heard some podcasts of you already. Like niche down till it hurts. It's definitely a thing, and this is where people always have a problem. I would say 80% of our customers have the problem with the positioning, because I think you can't do it on your own. You need like some outside perspective, and you need some outside help. And I think like the positioning is really one of the most key parts in your whole business development, right? And second thing is like know who you market to, like who is your dream ideal customers, really like not being here and waiting for some referrals coming in, and then you just reacting, and then you are reacting to all the requests you get. No, that's not the type of business we want to do. We want to be proactive. We want to speak to our dream clients, and then like speak in the way they understand and speak the language they speak. So I think like the first step is like positioning. The second step is know who your ideal customer is, and the third step for sure is definitely like creating and crafting your own marketing framework, your messaging framework, because we see these times, like all the marketing messages, they are way too off. They are talking about their product and they're talking about their company and all this kind of stuff, but it's not about the problems the customers have, right? It's not problem oriented. The customers, they don't care whatever company you have or how long you're in the business or whatever. The only thing they care about is their problem and how to solve it. And then in my opinion, you gotta solve, you gotta present the solution first and like sell the solution in the head of the customer and then sell your solution afterwards. And this is like something so many people are doing wrong out there, not selling the solution first and then selling their solution. And I would say those are the first 3 steps you have to go. And if you do this right, everything else is easy. Seriously, we did over, I would say, 500 plus campaigns on the internet. And if this was right, if this was on point, all of these campaigns, they skyrocketed. They were really, really good. But the foundation and the basics, they are more important than anything else, more important than any Facebook hack, Facebook trick, or Google trick, or whatever. And social media, something like this, is like the basis and the foundation. Those 3 things, most important things ever.
I love those. Go ahead, Bernd. Timon.
There's 3 things you shouldn't do, and I see a lot of people doing that wrong. You see all these marketers being very successful, or these people out there, and they have ebooks, they have online courses, and they are already having good ads and stuff like that. What you shouldn't do is, when you're starting out, you shouldn't go out there and write an ebook. It's going to set you back 6 months, and you're not going to make any revenue. And then you're not going to make a lot of revenue, because this is something for a later stage. Same is with advanced YouTube stuff. It's going to be later stage. You see all these guys already really advanced. Don't use the tactics. You're not there yet. You have to be super basic at the beginning. So don't go out there, turning on ads right away if you haven't done the basics. And don't create an online course before you've worked with people. You'll be recording videos that do not work and have no value because you haven't used it with people. You really learn when you've worked with 10 people, you know what their problem is. And then you can really help. And after that, you can record a course. But that's why we see so many people, they go in there, they're like super, they have a great expertise, and then they start writing an ebook or doing an online course, and they get stuck because the motivation, of course, sinks over time a lot because they're not making any money. Money is not only great for buying things, it's basically a high score, right? And it's this thing that keeps you, that you're doing it right. If you're getting more money, you're doing it better than somebody else, right? And that's something that people who start, doing a big project like writing an ebook or an online course, they will get stuck and never finish what they've started. So don't do that.
And I want to add one point to that as well, because people always think that they have some pretty cool offer or some pretty cool knowledge to sell or something like this. But most of the time they are wrong. And the only one who is really like validating if you're right or wrong is the market. So it should be you getting out your offer as quickly as you can to the market and validate if this will be bought. And you can ask your network or ask your friends, hey, this is pretty cool, would you buy it? They would say yes, for sure. They would say yes, but you gotta make people vote with their wallets and then really validate if your offer is pretty cool, instead of going crazy in product development and putting in 1 year or 2 years to develop a product maybe nobody would buy.
Yeah, those are great points from both of you, Timon and Bernd. I mean, I want to recap it just briefly. The first thing is positioning, making sure that you properly position yourself in the marketplace. Whatever your expertise is, you need to make sure that you're very clear on the value proposition and how you are being, exhibited to the world. The second thing is really being clear on who you serve, your target market, right? And focusing on how, you can communicate with them, where they hang out. Are they on LinkedIn, or are they on Instagram, or are they on an email list? How you can use those just proven methods of communication to better reach your target avatar. And then the third thing you said was, what was the third thing exactly? Results, or
having your own marketing framework in place, which is like a framework where you speak to the different stages of your potential client. So there are different stages, right? For us, it's like the problem unaware stage, where people, they don't know that they already got a problem yet. So next stage would be the problem or desire aware state. So they have some kind of problem, some kind of desire. Next stage would be like a solution aware state. Next stage would be your solution aware state. And then it would be the state of just waiting on a good deal. And then you gotta have messages for different stages, and market market about the problem, market about desire, and don't talk about your product yet. You gotta transition your customer throughout those ladder, and then talk about you. secondary.
Most advertisers only do two things. They only do two things. They will advertise to the ones who've already decided, and they'll give them 10% discount or 20% discount, and that will only reduce their margin of the product because the people have already decided that they'll buy it. This is a great method by Apple. They will never reduce their products, or very rarely will, and so people just buy it at any time. They'll not wait for a deal. That helps the margin to be very high and helps the people to buy at any time because they're not going to have a huge buyer's remorse when they buy something and see it 2 days later as 30% off, right? So this is a nasty tactic that most advertisers out there just do. They just give discount codes. And then the other tactic, what a lot of agencies do, is just branding. They'll be marketing to everybody, and they'll be advertising something that you don't even have the problem yet, but you're doing branding. This does work for cars, obviously, because they have enough budget, but this does not work for medium or small size companies. And what Bernd just said, those two, the second and third step, that's where the magic happens.
Yeah, that's so well said. So really focusing on the solution, not the problem, when you're marketing to your target avatar. I feel like that's something a lot of people do, especially when starting out. They're so worried about, selling all the features in their product and not the benefits. And I've even done this before where I'm like, oh, you get expert video lessons, you get actual takeaways. Yeah,
we all done it.
And then it just falls on deaf ears because no one really cares about all your features. They care about what result you're getting them. And that's such a beautiful point.
What's in it for me? And we always talk about, like we're saying, don't be product centric, be customer centric from a standpoint. Develop everything you're doing customer centric, and they'll vote with their wallet.
And then on step 3, what I meant was like, then you got to put it in a framework. So you have some kind of messaging for people who are like early in the funnel, and then sure you have some type of messaging people who are like on a different stage in the funnel. But you got to have your framework and your messaging like really worked out in some place and tested it out. It's always like everybody got objections, right? The first objections may occur around the problem or the solution or whatever. We got to solve those objections first. Next objections which are coming into place are probably about you, trusting your company, trusting the method, right? And then we got to have like a framework or some kind of, I would say like, a communication framework where we have all the right kind of stories for the right kind of stages for our potential interest.
Yeah, great point. And that's something that I think a lot of people fail in terms of putting on their landing page and their marketing message, where they don't actually just break down the true objections that will arise in their business or their product or their service. And they actually just, speak to the masses without speaking right to the pain points and failing to really identify what are the key objections, what are people going to say, or how can they potentially misconstrue your message and then not necessarily buy your product or service because they don't trust you. And you need to build that know, like, and trust. And Timon, you said some really great things about the mistakes that you see your clients make and people all over the internet when they are marketing their products and services. You said that they're just writing an ebook or putting up a digital course without actually solving real people's problems and working one-on-one with clients. Yep. And I think that's a great point. Guys, all the happy hustlers out there listening, you have to do the thing first and foremost, and then you can replicate the process, right? You have to be able to solve customers' problems. Then you'll get direct market feedback. Then you'll know specifically, hey, I've worked with, this client and they said this specific thing, and now I have to pivot because this was not at all the solution that I was creating. You find out direct feedback from the market. So
and super easy these days. Honestly, I mean, it's super easy. You just put something out and then see how the market reacts, and then you probably adjust, or it's pretty good already. So don't spend a ton of your time creating whatever you think it's cool. Just try it out. And maybe there's some tip for all the happy hustlers, because this is like some mindset thing. People always thinking like, I gotta finish my product first, then I can sell it. That's wrong. You just sell your product first. And if somebody would buy it, then you just say, hey, honestly, I'm just working on it and I give you a discount or whatever, but we, proceed from here. So you only have to validate the point of sale. If you have the sale already, then all right, this is going to work. Then you can pause it, whatever, or work with the clients you already got, or use them as a beta testing group or whatever, but you can start right now with just an idea, try to sell it, and then pause it, or taking the people for beta status. But this is only a mindset problem people have.
Yes.
Yes.
Great point.
And don't underestimate somebody else helping you with this. Somebody else, giving you input from the outside. Bernd already said that, and that's really important. But also being accountable for the stuff you're doing. Because we do tend to have high energy at the beginning of every project. Especially me, I'm super high energy in any new project. I'll jump into anything. And you can, if we wanted to start brainstorming right now, I'm down for 4 hours. No, but the point is, we're always high energy at the beginning, but the success comes in the later stage. Most companies get big after 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. And the thing here is this accountability pushes you through to keep on going through the stuff you're doing, because you'll have fails, you'll have pitfalls that are horrible, and you'll be thinking about yourself, I can't do this. What am I doing wrong? And that's where you need the outside help that guides you and the accountability that pushes you forward, that you're actually doing the right steps every day. Because as in business, as in weight loss, it's being, continuous work, step by step each day to get to the success where you want to go.
Yeah, persistent consistency, I like to say to the happy hustlers, you have to be consistent every single day and persist past that inevitable adversity that will arise. You are going to be fatigued. You're not going to want to write the copy. You're not going to want to put up a new landing page after you just failed and spent so many hours, creating this beautiful looking landing page that just didn't convert. And you're not going to want to do it again. But in order to really be successful, you have to test and iterate and stay committed, like Timon said. In anything you do, it's all about accountability. It's about mindset, like Bernd was talking about. You have to be persistent. Great points there, guys. Let's talk about SEO, because I know you both have, an expertise in SEO, and there is so many different variables to search engine optimization and really being found on the internet. But let's face it, in order to be successful with an online business, you have to have traffic. So let's talk about some of the ways to optimize traffic and search engine optimization.
Yeah, so let me go first on this one. What I really like about SEO is that it's an amazing way to get free traffic, of course, but don't overestimate this, right? This is 15 years ago, 10 years ago, you could do a SEO pretty fast. Now it's more like, I would say it's basically laying a foundation. So for everybody out there who's starting a business, who's buying a new domain, you're basically starting from zero with SEO. And you're not going to make money with SEO in the first 6 months, because you're not going to rank for anything. You're only going to rank for very, very low stuff. So what I always suggest is, even though being an SEO expert, I suggest going, doing the basics, doing everything technically correct, so your website can be crawled, can be found, that you're not putting out duplicate content, and you're not pushing out there, stuff that Google doesn't like, right? You're making your page fast so it's accessible for mobile and desktop. And then you stop, right? Then you continue building your business, because everything else will grow. When you're doing great stuff out there, you'll be earning links. Yeah, obviously there's other ways to get links, but you'll be earning links, and you'll be building that trust within Google, and then you'll be found via SEO as well. But the way to go and earn money in those first 6 months is definitely not SEO. There's paid traffic out there.
Yeah, that's great. Those are great points. I mean, basically, you want to just put the foundation together, for your website. I know for my particular website, carryjack.com, I really started with just a foundation, like you said, getting clear on my marketing, my message. I'm still refining it. It's still, helping people find balance and fulfillment and passion, purpose, positive impact. There's so much there, but I see my SEO already growing, because now I have my web developer going through, adding links, adding different keywords, tags. There's a great tool on WordPress called SEO Yoast. It's a plugin, and you can use it to really boost your SEO. And
Yoast is a friend of ours. I've had a lot of, we always have this special meeting once a year in Munich, and he's been coming there for 10 years. This plugin is really to recommend. It helps you a lot to get your site optimized very fast and very cheap.
Let me mention something here you brought up, because I think this is maybe a misconception here for your listeners. You said adding a lot of keywords. SEO is not about adding some keywords and then you gotta be found about those topics. I mean, Google is pretty smart and pretty good in finding all the holistic keywords around the whole topic. And it's, I think, one of the most mistakes we are seeing is hunting the wrong keywords. So this is like the first thing. Yeah, there are some tools out there, for example, Keyword Tool.io, which you can use to check out if there is search volume on a keyword. I see so many people like trying to optimize on keywords which never be searched, right? So you can check out if this keyword is searched or not. And then it's not about adding like 2 or 3 of those keywords. It's about creating the best content to be found on the internet about those topics and those keywords, and having like a really holistic and big approach. And those are, I think, like how SEO is done today. Back in the years, it was like more on focusing on some hacks and tricks and whatever. But on the mid and long term run, you always gonna focus on value for the customer. If you have like the best content, and sure, you gotta have your technique right and all this kind of stuff. But if you're having the best content, you will get links like organically, and people are gonna find this page because you have the most holistic approach of this kind of topic.
Yeah, I love that. What was that tool that you recommended?
It's keywordtool.io.
Keywordtool.io, and then SEO Yoast. Guys, if you have a WordPress website or any website, really, these are tools that you can utilize. Great points there, Bernd, because I do believe that if you're going to be an expert and have an online business and sell your knowledge, especially given the pandemic and everything that's taking place right now, this is the time to create a digital enterprise that you can buy and sell products and services online. And right now, focus on just creating the best content possible on that subject. Become the subject matter expert. Yes, put the proper links and the proper keywords, but just create the best content. And Google does its thing. All the search engines will do their thing to find that holistic content and get organic traffic to your page. So great points there, guys. I ask all my guests this, and I want to ask you guys, what was your first hustle? Can you recall when you guys were just baby Bernd and baby Timon? What was the first thing you did for money?
Timon, you go first.
So do you mean like a basic job or like a first entrepreneurial start?
Either one. I want to hear the first thing when you were just a baby.
So the only job I ever did, to be honest, was like renting out sailboats to people on a lake, and quickly stopped that. I was actually like, that was not much money I was getting there, but it was fun, and I did actually my sailing license on that lake as well. So
that's cool.
Yeah, and then I quickly started building websites, and I got like, for a 17-year-old, it's huge money getting like a couple thousand per website. And you're like, I was even blown away by the first one. I think we sold for 500 euros or something like that, or D-Mark. I'm not even sure which currency it was anymore. But that was so much money back then. And then, we got like contracts for 3,000, paid for my whole like university and everything. So wow. My first hustle was basically building websites. Yeah.
That's cool. And Bernd?
Mine was like I had a job in summer for like in an open air bath. It was like in a buffet with the open air bath, and I was like frying burgers all day, like doing the dirty hard work, frying burgers all day, serving my friends who were there to swim, something like this. And then stock up the beverages, and it was tough on it. 16 hours, and it's like you only have free time when it's raining. So this was the first thing, like frying burgers all day. Yeah.
That's funny. So guys, I hear you talking about this new age of consulting, and I'd like to touch on that for the happy hustlers out there, because I think it's very relevant. There is a shift in the consulting world. It's not the traditional, come into the corporation, give your best knowledge, and then, get paid and then leave, like a traditional consulting. What do you mean by the new age consulting era, and how can the happy hustlers out there utilize some of this, new age tactics and success secrets that you guys have been able to implement?
Yeah, so let me explain what we mean by the old age, which you just went on, and then Bernd will explain the new age. So especially the old age was, especially me, for a couple of years ago, I was consulting American Express, and I was going to like big corporations here in Germany, big of the TV stations and stuff like that, and I couldn't imagine ever scaling that up. I was always caught in the parallel of time versus money. I was giving them my time, and they were giving me their money, and there was no way getting out of this. And I couldn't believe there was a way getting out of this. And then we found, well, you probably all know how you get stuck in that as well, because you can't scale up At some point, you don't have any more time.
Mhm.
And most people then try to, get more time by adding people who work for you, but then the quality changes. So then we found the new age of consulting, and that changed everything. And Bernd, please tell the listeners what we mean by that.
All right. So I would say the new age of consulting is definitely, it's an online-based business. So we serve clients from all over the world. It doesn't matter if you're in Chicago or in Japan, whatever. So everything is digital. At least in some point. I mean, we try to meet our customers in person, but when we're already working with them and for fun meetings or whatever. But everything is digital, and some people got some mindset problems on that because they're thinking, no, my kind of clients, they don't want to be digital, they hate this video conference and all kind of stuff. But I tell you, the better the people, the more they value such video conferences because it costs them less time. So the better the people, their time is more valuable for them. And so it never ever was ever an issue to work with somebody on video conferences. And you already also have like some advantages on there, right? You can hop on with no pants on, or you can be on holiday or whatever. So like, first of all, it's an online based business. Next up, the new way of consulting is a absolutely digital way of sales process. There is no, I sent you an inquiry or whatever. There's setting and closing principles. So you gonna generate your leads, and then you set them. Is this person or is this type of business qualified to work with me? And you're gonna qualify them in different ways. So the first up is the most important way. Can I help this person? Right? Do I have the right tools to help them, and do I have the right tools like already ready, or do I have to put something together, which is always like time consuming? So can I help this person? Does the person have the budget to work with me? Does the person you can start right now, and do this person has like a business partner or whatever, or is he can say yes or no to work with us? And then if this is okay, then you are gonna get them to a strategy call where you really give a lot of value. You really map out the whole bird's view perspective on what we can do and what you would do, and then don't be afraid to give value there. So you putting out all the value, and at the end of the call, you offer them, say, all right, you wanna put this plan into action with us together, and we show you the exact steps because this was more or less a bird's view perspective, and then that's it. And then people say yes or no. You frame them, it's yes or no, and it's pretty easy. And you can make like I would say high 5-figure deals, even like 6-figure deals via video calls. And this is only a mindset problem of people that they think they can't do it, but it's totally wrong. This works perfectly. And then I would say next thing is like not selling your time, which Timon said already. So try to leverage your time. Then there are different ways. There are for sure like group programs or like courses with one-on-one integrations. And for sure you can add this up with like digital assets, which is really, really nice. You never want to change 1 hour for X amount of dollars. You always want to have like, this is the transformation. This is the result we're giving you. And we are pricing this based on the value you're getting.
Exactly. Because the customer doesn't care about the time, he cares about the result. And Bernd always has such a great example for that. You don't pay the dentist to take longer. You want him to be finished in 1 minute. That would be the best.
Yeah.
That would pay him the highest. They want to have the result. They don't want to have the time,
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, I love what you said, Bernd, about really focusing on leveraging your time most effectively. And I think even I see a lot of coaches and consultants and people in the online space, they get caught up selling their time for money. And that's no way to really create a scalable entity and not until you dial in that process. And that's something that I think you really articulated well, which is you have to have a clear sales process. Some people call it a funnel online, where it, really focuses on, okay, who is the customer? How can I attract them? Take them through this buying process where when they get to the end, it's a simple yes or no. Do you want it or do you not? Yeah. Everything's clearly articulated. You know the value that you're getting. You know the value that you're providing. And there's a simple exchange of value. And that's all business really is. It's exchanging value.
And you need like you gotta be proactive, and you gotta have some clarity, like right. So in our strategy calls, we ask people, we say, all right, we're gonna map out the whole strategy for you, and if we think that we can really help you, leverage you, I'm gonna make you an offer at the end of the call. Is this all right for you? I want you to say yes or no then. So let's be clear on if it's a yes or no. And they say, all right, that's cool for me, go ahead. And I think that's very, very important. And a lot of people, they don't do it, and they always in some kind of state. All right, I might get this deal, or this is probably a potential client, or this is no. You gotta have some really sharp clarity on what are your numbers, and I think it's a proactive task you gotta do all the time. And you can say to your client, hey, if it's no, that's no problem. That's all right. Yeah, that's all right. But just be clear on that.
Yeah, I love that. You have to just lay it all out on the line. I mean, that's one of the secrets to just sales success as well. It's like being very clear upfront in your calls. Hey, if it's a fit, I'd love to make an offer where we can see if it's an opportunity to work together. If I know I can help you, I know, we can help make your business into a massive success online. Here's the strategy. I'd like to just yes or no answer so we can have that clarity. So those are great points there, Timon and Bernd. I think the happy hustlers out there listening to this will get a ton of value just going through what we've previously covered about SEO, about new age, consulting, and a lot of those online digital marketing principles and some of those mistakes that potentially people can avoid. What I like to do is leave the listeners with some tangible happy hustle hacks, things in different disciplines, not just online marketing and your guys' expertise, but some other factors in your life. I'd like to talk about health first, because I know you guys have both been focused on health and really optimizing. Let's talk about each. One of you share first. Let's go with Bernd. A happy hustle hack that you use for your health, something that really does add value to your life, something that you do that you've seen great results from, and same with you, Timon, to follow.
Yeah, sure. And I mean, you're responsible for that I implemented this. So I would say having a pretty sharp morning routine is the best thing you can do for your health. My routine looks like this. I do like a 30-minute of, relaxed cardio. I go out riding the mountain bike, or going on the rower, or go for a little sweaty jog. And then I come back and having like a really cold shower. So this changed everything around for me, having like this cold shower, because it immediately puts me into a parasympathetic state. It really de-stresses me totally. So the cold shower after that, then maybe a short meditation session. I still suck on meditation. I try to implement this for 2 years already. But I think one of the points which helped me most was like, if it's only 5 minutes, all right as well. Just proceed. Just, this is the path, and sometimes you suck, sometimes you're a little better. So having a little meditation, and then for sure some supplements. And we have here a pretty cool company, which is also our client, more or less. They make an individual supplement profile, so they measure intracellularly. So they're going into your cells.
Oh,
and
cool.
They put it out blood. And then they research the blood, which only 7 laboratories in the world can do. Yeah. And they put together a perfectly plan on what is missing with your supplements. And then you have some own mixed for you together. And then you stack up on all the micronutrients which are missing. So I think this is very important as well, and a good hack to really have clarity. And so many people so many people taking something, vitamin C here or this, and they are following the instructions on the bottle, but it's totally off, honestly. I, for example, take 12 L-arginine tablets every day because I have such deficit on this, right? And I think like having like an individual type of approach there and really have like the scientific numbers, it's very important. And this really helps then. This is really
those are great. Those are great happy hustle hacks for health. What about you, Timon?
So for me, it's really interesting about the health stuff. So I'm always looking for the method that gets me to lose more weight and get more fitter, because I've always been the guy who's not been fit. I always yo-yo quite a lot. So I buy a rower. I'll buy a bike, I'll buy that machine, I'll buy that machine. So I'm always looking for the method. And that's what everybody else is doing in digital marketing as well. They're always looking for Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest. They're always looking for the method, but they're not doing the simple steps. So the biggest game changer for me was actually accountability. That somebody's watching me and telling me like, no, you're gonna walk. You're not gonna run now. You're gonna walk first. And then you can run, and then you got to do the small kettlebells, and then you're going to do the big kettlebells. And watching me, and I have the fear in my neck that he'll call me and say like, I haven't done my tasks. That's been a huge game changer for me. So accountability is my health hack.
That's amazing. Let's talk about a happy hustle hack for money. I know you've both made millions, maybe lost, a great amount of money.
Yeah, lost millions.
Lost millions. Financial literacy is something I'd like to talk about for the happy hustlers. It's one of the 10 alignments, that financial abundance. What is a happy hustle hack for money that you can share with the listeners?
I go first, and we even did a podcast episode on that, because everybody is so like looking for some investment opportunities, like real estate here, cryptocurrencies, or whatever. But I swear, the best investment you can ever make is into yourself and into your business. Nothing will ever give you like more return than your own business. And some people miss that because they think they are earning some thousands of dollars and they think, all right, I got to put something in real estate, got to put something here. No, I mean, try to put it back in your business, because this gives you the best return immediately. And if you made a lot of millions, then probably thinking about going into real estate or going this here and there. Sure, I don't say don't do anything at all, but I would say the best return for your money is your own business and your own knowledge. That's why I love to invest in knowledge. I love to invest in masterminds. I love to invest, to be around people who are where I want to go. And I'm not afraid to lose money on that, because so many people are afraid to lose money, and they said, all right, I'm going to buy this thing right now or not. Maybe I lose some money. I don't care. If I lose money, okay, that's part of the game, right? But if it brings me a little bit more towards my goal, it was totally worth it. And I think that's the best investment tip, in my opinion.
I love that. That's great.
I have to agree with Bernd on that one. That's very solid. I mean, we've been looking at a lot of investment opportunities, but that's the one we always come back to. We say like, dude, let's put that money into the company and let's scale it up. The return is going to be higher. And there's one more thing I want to add though. It's like when you're thinking of buying all this stuff, you're always trying to get that dopamine hit, and try to buy more experiences than buying stuff, because you can buy the stuff later on as well. But the experiences, some of them you cannot buy. The experience you could do with 20 or you do with 30, you cannot buy when you're 50, right?
Yeah.
So think about that. Think about those buying experiences and going out there traveling before you have kids, or going to that club when you're 25 or 30 and not going to that club when you're 50, and having that experience and buying those experiences. That's maybe why I went to so many Jay-Z concerts. But still, it's something that also is very like the happy hustling way. Enjoy the journey when you're working. Don't be the guy who saves away every dime. I mean, there's reasons for that too, but go out there, buy an experience, and you'll have that. Nobody can take that away from you. I
love that. And what I think about is you guys, when you visited down in Florida, you rented the red Ferrari in Miami. You guys were whipping all over South Beach. I just had that great mental of you too. That's hilarious. And it is experiences over things, guys. That's the happy hustler way, is in investing in yourself. Great points there. Couple more questions, then let's wrap this bad boy up. The one thing I like to touch on is entrepreneurship, because let's face it, it's not easy a journey. Like if you're going to start an online business, it's going to take perseverance. What is a happy hustle hack that you can use, or that the listeners can use, about entrepreneurship and persevering through the inevitable adversity? Because I know you guys have, and I know you have some knowledge on this fact.
Yeah.
Yes.
We will go to first.
I'll go first. Okay. So it's basically the shiny object syndrome is the worst. So you'll always be, the grass is always greener on the other side. So you'll be talking to your friends, you'll be talking to this other business owner, and he'll be like, first of all, let's get one thing out of the way. You ask another business owner, how's it going? And he's like, everything's great. Yeah, come on, let's do some real talk. It's, when you're an entrepreneur, you have a business and everything's going great. I mean, how can everybody be great and then everybody's failing? It's not true.
Yeah.
So, first of all, that's not the case. And then he tells you his story, how everything's working, how great it is. And you're seeing only how amazing it is, and you're seeing this shiny object, and you want to do that. But it's the same for him. He's looking at your business when you're talking about it, and he's like, oh, this must be so amazing. So don't fall for the shiny object trap. Focus, and I'm telling you, if you look back 10 years ago to those few guys, who stick to whatever thing they were doing, and you might have thought it was stupid what they were doing or small, they're now bigger if they stick to it than you have ever done, because you changed in 10 years 10 times the topic you were focusing on. So that is like a productivity hack. Just stick to it. Pick something, and I'm not going to be Gary Vaynerchuk and say, do whatever your passion. No, just stick to something that is, makes sense and makes money, and stick with it. And the fun will also come when you're making money, and then just stick with it. It doesn't matter how small it is, will grow bigger. I mean, there's some industries, of course, that don't make a lot of money.
And I would say people always like looking for the best, like, opportunity. Like they're always like, if I can this, it's giving me maybe more return, or I can this, it gives me more return, or this. And they don't get started. They're just 10 years later, they are still in the same point and jumping from one thing to another thing. But as Timon said, it's about getting started and then just stick with it. And it really does not matter. And we all have those friends, right? Kerry, I think you have those friends too, who started some kind of years ago, and you said like, all right, this is whatever he's doing, but he's still there, and he's probably very, very successful within the field which the person does. And I think there's nothing like the perfect business. There's always like the focus you're putting in. And I would add something more, some point more. I would say like take the risk to surround yourself with people who are there already. So what Timon also said, like, don't take the advice from your like colleague or from your your friend or your business sparring partner, whatever. Just really invest something and put in some money to be around people who are like 10x greater than you, or more advanced than you. Then you will find like the mindset and the shortcuts you probably need to do your next step then.
I love that. Yeah,
I think that's the two things.
Yeah, those are great points. Just following mentors who are where you want to be, and not getting caught up with the shiny object syndrome, like chasing, two rabbits you'll never catch either. You have to follow one and really stay focused on the task at hand.
Also invest something into getting to those mentors, because we hear this all the time. Like, surround yourself with people who are like more advanced or where you want to be. But you gotta do what it takes to be around those persons. For example, what I did once, it was crazy. Some years ago, I was like, I know I had a meeting. I could meet a really good person in Berlin. So this is like a 3-hour flight from where I live. And it was my uncle's 60th birthday, and he invited the whole family to go to Croatia with him in this beautiful hotel and all this kind of stuff. And I basically had to wake up my whole family, so kids, wife, and everybody, to get me to the airport, because they went back to Austria then, to get me to the airport to fly to Berlin for just one dinner.
Yeah,
totally crazy. Like, all my family said, you are totally crazy. This costs a lot of money, like traveling there, traveling back, and then you're gonna miss the half of the party or whatever. But it was totally worth it. It was totally. So you got to do what you got to do to really surround yourself with those people as well, and you got to invest in these opportunities and take some risk when they come.
Yeah, it's so true. I think of one of my friends. He invited me to his mastermind this weekend, and this conversation with you guys is gonna make me drive. I'm on my way from Florida to Montana to move to our new place, and it's all the way in Ohio. It's way out of the way, but I'm going now because of this conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's a great mastermind, and he said I can have a seat on him for free. So, and he's somewhere further along than I am. So it's these type of conversations that spark those type of decisions. So I appreciate you both. Let's get into the rapid fire round. And this is where I just ask quick questions and you just answer honestly. And then we'll find out where we can learn more about you guys, and then we'll say goodbye. So I want to go Timon, then Bernd, and we'll just go real quick. So are you ready?
Ready.
Favorite movie? Go.
Bad Boys.
The Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, favorite food?
Ooh, that's a hard one. Ooh, so being on the diet side, I have to say something like zucchini or something. But
pizza.
Probably pizza. Burgers. Yeah.
Pizza and burgers. Love it. Favorite book? Timon.
Oh, my favorite book. That is a hard question. It's probably gonna be Breakthrough Advertising.
It's probably The Miracle Morning. I think that's a pretty good one.
Nice. What is your spirit animal?
That's probably gonna be a dog. Yeah, I should say lion. And really, with my name, it's probably gonna be a meerkat from The Lion King. So.
Bernd?
I would go with lion. I have a big lion tattoo on my chest as well, so I stick with the lion, whatever.
Yes. Best business advice.
Take the risk.
And stick with it.
Love it. If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Oh, that's a good one. So I'd like to be like in the movie Jumper and be able to, go everywhere instantly. I'd love that.
I think being invisible is pretty cool.
Yeah. Nice. One word you wish to be synonymous with your name for the rest of your life.
I would go with amazing. I like being in the spotlight. So
I would go with amazing.
Powerful.
No, I would go with amazing as well.
Okay. All right. 3 things you're most grateful for in this world right now.
There's so many things, and being grateful for stuff is always so hard. But I have to say, like, being healthy is definitely something, and I hope it lasts. You never know; it could be over tomorrow. Then just being born in this super privileged situation, just with everything going on, just being in one of the first world countries is. I don't think about it all day, but it's very good. And then being lucky with a good family and being in the digital space, to be honestly, is being blessed looking at how the crisis developed.
Yeah.
I would say family for sure. My 2 wonderful daughters, my wife, my family for sure. And then also like being in the position to really change something, like being in the position to really help other people involved and takes the next step. I think that's wonderful. And I think that's 3 already. That's 3 already. No?
That's great.
2
Okay, guys, where can people go to find out more about you? Give us a call to action where the Happy Hustlers can learn. I know you have a free call for people out there listening. If they have an interest in learning more about TI Consulting, where can people go?
Okay, Timon?
Yeah. First off, I mean, even though we're based in Germany and Austria, which is in Europe, we do have clients all over the world. So we have clients in Thailand, we have clients in Dubai, and we have clients in the US. So through the digital space, that enables us to have clients everywhere. So if you want to work with us, Bernd, please go ahead and tell them where they can find us.
Okay, you go to ticonsulting.io-en for the English version, and then you can book a free consulting call, and then we have an easy chat on what your problems are and if we can help you or not. We also have a podcast, but it's only available in German. So if you want to learn German or you're German speaking already, it's called Raus aus dem Mittelmaß. It's basically translated is like leave mediocrity. And that's available on iTunes, Spotify, and everywhere else.
Love that. So ticonsulting.io-en. If you guys want to book a free call with TI Consulting, Timon and Bernd, I definitely recommend, if anything that they've said sparks your interest, take action, take a risk, and just hop on the phone and see if they can help you or not. Now, last question, guys. Before I ask it, I just want to acknowledge both of you for sharing your love, your light, your truth, your wisdom with the Happy Hustlers. This has been amazing. Now, final question. Let's go to Timon first and then Bernd. What does happy hustling mean to you?
Exactly. It means for me not striving to that one goal, getting those 10 million, those 100 million as the end result, but living during that time. I don't want to be 18 hours in the office every day, Saturday, Sunday. I want to have time to do other stuff that I also love, because I love my job. I love being in this office. I think it's amazing, but I also love doing some other stuff. Like doing some. Do I have hobbies? I don't think I have any hobbies. Spending time with the family and enjoying getting these experience in there and being able to live a full life. And I see people, they only have this one end goal and they're chasing towards that, and that's the only party. They might be faster there than I am, but I'm having fun on the way.
Yeah, there you go. Bernd?
Yeah, I would say having fun on the way as well. I think that's the most important thing. Like doing whatever I love to do, and we just made one sale. This is digital marketing in the new age, right? So while we're talking, we just made one sale. This is fun. I really like it. And for me, it's always hard to look back because I'm this type of guy who looks striving for the next thing. And one of my mentors told me already, so just to turn around from time to time and see how far you've become already. And then I would say to celebrate as well. Sometimes you gotta really celebrate life, celebrate how far you come already, how the position you have already, whatever. And I think having fun on your journey is really, really important. And this is what happy hustling means to me.
Love it. Great answers, both of you. This has been a true pleasure. You guys' energies rocks. Thank you again for sharing your love and light with the happy hustlers out there.
Thank you, Kerry. Thank you for having us. It was a pleasure, and I hope to see you soon in Montana. Saddle the horses. We would look like
Cowboys.
like donkeys on the horses, but it's going to be fun, I think.